Robin Hamlet is warming up on the 9-foot table at Jim's place, getting ready for her second lesson. You can hear some machines running in the background. That's electricians working in our bar area. We're going to do our best to try to work around that as we go through the day today. We can see while Robin's warming up here that right away we notice something that she needs some work on, and that is she has a ball right in the pocket, but she's trying to cut it too thin and she completely misses it. And she did that twice.
Your alignment's good, your eyes are good. You're trying to cut it really thin.
I am.
Aha. Okay. We got something to work with here.
I know.
What are your thoughts about where you want to hit that ball? Have you come over and looked at it from that direction?
I did not.
Why are you hitting it so thin?
Because I feel like I need to hit it that thin, but from where it's at.
Let's start off. And
but you're right.
Nothing wrong with that right now. You can make that ball by shooting straight at the center of the cue ball, at the center of this ball. And you will make it. Center of the cue ball at the center of this ball. Now you're probably going to follow it in, but that's okay. See that?
Yes. I don't know why.
You don't have to cut that at all.
It didn't even occur to me to try to do it that way.
So come on over here. And what you were doing before, you know, the first session we had, when you were practicing, you were coming over behind the ball and seeing what its angle into the pocket was. You need to do that with the easiest shot. There's no such thing as an easy shot in pool, as you just demonstrated.
And I was being lazy because I was thinking in my head, warm up, like I was being completely lazy. But you're right, it's part of the routine.
So let's just move this a little bit. And when you come over here, one of the things you're doing when the ball's right near a pocket like that is asking the question. There are lots of different ways, and this is one of the things I was going to cover today anyway, later on. There are lots of different ways to hit a ball like that and make it. But from that angle, this is not makeable, but that probably is. Mm-hmm. And amazingly, by moving it that far, again, you can shoot straight at this ball and make it. Go ahead and try it. You're shooting the center of the cue ball at the center of this ball.
Oh, I missed it. I missed that shot. I missed your finger, though, I think.
That's okay. Your subconscious brain is trying to save you.
Yes,
because you've trained it to do that. Again, center the cue ball to the center of that object ball. And this time hit it lighter so that the cue ball doesn't follow it into the pocket.
Oh, I didn't hit it lighter. I forgot that part.
That's okay. Let's do it one more time. But
okay. And
you notice how
I'm
you did not have to cut that at an angle.
I know. I'm missing to the left, though. Yeah. It's a vision thing.
So come on down here and I'll show you what's happening. The range at which you can hit this ball into the pocket starts here, because if it rolls forward and hits the inside of that bevel, it's going to go in that direction. So you have a wide range. You can hit it here, 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 and it'll go in the pocket. So if you were to shoot straight, you have that wide a zone where the cue ball could be and still make it in the pocket by hitting the center of the cue ball to the center of that ball. So if I shoot the center of the cue ball to the center of that ball right now, it goes in. If I shoot the center of the cue ball to the center of the cue ball from there, it goes in. I was wondering why you had such a good stroke and yet we're still staying at a 3. and this is probably going to be the answer, is making sure that you're hitting the ball at the appropriate angle and being able to see, because the same thing's true for a shot that's way out here. There are a lot of different angles. You can hit the ball in this direction and still make it, because it's going to come here and come off that point and go in.
Yes.
Or you could shoot it straight towards here and it'll go in. Or you could shoot it towards the center of the pocket and go in. And this was one of the subjects for today. In order to make it, let's go right into this, because we have to go back to some fundamentals again, based on watching you right here. And I want to hear your feedback as well. But let's suppose you are in this position, and the 8 ball is over here. So that's going to be your next shot, right?
Okay.
Okay, how do you get on that 8 ball? And it has everything to do with the shot you were just taking.
Okay, so I'm going to want to hit somewhere on the right side of that ball.
Yes.
So I can create the natural angle.
Right. So you come and look at that ball and see how far over can I go. And actually you can cut the ball way over here like this.
Because of the...
And make it in that pocket. So go ahead and shoot that. And then we're going to put it right back where it is.
So you're saying, wait a minute though, just so I can...
You have to go over that way.
Yes.
And you're lining it up.
So you're saying the center of the ball could be shot to that...
The center of the ball can be shot right here. You see?
Yes.
And then I'll send the cue ball off in that direction.
Okay. I gotta see it again here.
Okay, you overcut it a little bit. Let me just, we got that right on the dot, we got that right there. I'm going to go ahead and shoot a couple of shots.
Yes.
And we're going to pretend this is the 8 ball. So now this is my last ball, and I'm going to try and get on that ball. So to do that, I'm going to cut that ball in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so I'm aiming almost towards the edge of that ball.
Yes.
So I got over here, now I'm on the 8. Now if I want to go in the other direction, I can just hit, now I'm hitting it towards that side of the pocket, and I can go over there and get on the 8 over here.
Okay, and you're not using any English or anything on that?
No English, and you really shouldn't be using any English. Now when we come to this ball that was in the pocket like that,
yes,
there's a whole range of possibilities. If the 8 ball's over here, so I don't want to hit that, I don't want to cut that like you started out doing. I want to hit it very full like this. Now I can get at that 8 ball. If instead the 8 ball was here and I have exactly the same shot, now I have to shoot it differently. And so instead of shooting straight at that ball, I'm going to shoot it now at an angle, but not as big an angle as you were doing. Now I can come over here and get on the 8 ball.
You have a wide range of...
There's a wide range of possibilities.
Yeah.
From a ball like this, you can go anywhere on the table. Anywhere on the table.
Yeah. And that one, same.
Without using English.
So this one here, the way it's sitting...
So I can aim it there, 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 depending on how I want the cue ball to roll.
Where can't you aim it?
Pardon me?
Where can't you aim it?
Well, if you were to hit it, so you come and stand behind it and ask the question, if I can hit inside that point, hit the center of the ball inside the point, it'll go, and now it might not go.
Right, okay.
Okay, because it might come back off of that point. See, you're doing this.
Yep.
Okay, now if I hit it a little bit inside, It still doesn't go, and this is something you get a feeling for. And finally, I get it there, and it almost goes. And finally, if I hit it there, it'll go.
Yes.
That's the kind of thing that we're deciphering each time we come to the shop. For a few minutes, I'd like you to just practice hitting that ball in different locations and see what happens to the cue ball.
Okay.
Hit the ball in the center every time and just hit it from as straight as you can, and then try and cut it more.
Yeah, because trying to cut it that hard is going to leave me zero room for error.
You had zero room for error,
Yes.
and therefore you erred.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have hit that ball much fuller.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
colossal mistake.
Beautiful.
I need to do it a little.
Now, if you cut it more, you'll find the cue ball will go over in that direction. So now you just hit it pretty full, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to shoot it at a half ball distance. So you're shooting the center of the cue ball at the edge of the object ball. Look at that. Now it goes over there. So the first thing you need to do to understand, or to make it from a 3 to a 4, is to be able to hit the ball at different angles into the pocket, which is exactly the problem that you presented right there at the beginning. So that means this ball can go in the pocket from there, from there, from there, and the cue ball is going to go to a different location depending on where you hit it. So, because you have to be able to get position on balls, like the little 8-ball problem we had.
Biggest struggle right now.
That is where this comes into play, is being able to now say, okay, if I hit that straight, the cue ball is going to end up here, and we have a now what moment. And there are now what moments at every single stage of an APA career, let's say. At this stage, the now what moment is often, okay, I have ball in hand, I come over here, wow, I can make this really easy. And I go like this, and now I look over and I go, now what? Okay, you don't want now what moments. And the now what moments happen at the APA 5 level too, because what an APA 5 does is, let's say he has these 3 balls, and he runs them off, and then he looks at the 8-ball and goes, now what? That's what keeps him from going to a 6.
Yeah.
And the 6 has a now what moment when he realizes that he can't get position on his next ball to get out. So at every level, there are now what moments, and the main thing from a tactical standpoint that we're trying to do is get rid of now what moments. To get position, they'll do that. So now we're trying to go to that side. So I'm looking over here and seeing what is the biggest angle I can get. It's right about there. That's now where my ghost ball is going to end up. So I'm going to shoot it like that and try to come over here for this ball. Okay? That's step 1.
Okay.
So you have a table at home. I'd love for you to set up on that table and practice this. And the next thing we're going to do, and we're going to do that right now, you're going to do it, is set the balls up in the same way, but now we're going to maneuver the cue ball with 3 things: high, middle, and low. And when I say middle, you're actually a little bit below the middle, because the middle is a stop shot.
Yes.
So what I want to do is hit a little bit below center and stop the ball like that.
Okay.
Now,
and that's the stroke on a stop shot. It's just a regular stroke.
Just a regular stroke. You're not doing anything. But if your grip isn't loose, you probably won't do very well at it.
Okay.
So that's where the fundamentals come in. If you don't have a fundamentally good stroke, it'll be more difficult. Okay, the next shot is a follow shot, and that's the shot that so many APA 3s will do, is they're on the 8-ball now and they think this is the easiest shot in the world, and they hit it at the center of the cue ball, and when they do, it's going to roll forward like that into the pocket. So from the center up, on most shots, the center is an exception on some shots, but from the center up, that cue ball is going to keep rolling.
Okay.
And we'll get you doing a drill here in a minute, but what's happening when you strike the cue ball? And again, we're trying to strike it either in the middle or a little bit high or a little bit low, not right or left. That's going to come in the transition from a 4 to a 5 or a 5 to a 6 even. Watch what this cue ball does. I want you to watch the stripe on that ball and what it's doing, and I'm going to hit on the bottom of the ball, and that's going to make it spin backwards like a draw shot. And it's going to start sliding right here for 4 to 6 inches, and then it's going to roll forward again. So watch the stripe.
Oh
Did you see
my.
it slide?
Yes.
Okay.
Very vividly.
I hit it a little bit off center. Okay, let's watch it one more time.
Yes.
Okay, so it's going backwards, then it's sliding, and then it's rolling forward. In order to stop the ball, it has to be in the sliding portion of its roll. So if I hit that ball before it starts to slide, sorry, I'm using your tam here.
No, you're good, you're good.
If I hit it before it starts to slide, that ball should come backwards a little bit. Actually, I need to hit a little harder. So I'm shooting low on the ball now, and now it's coming backwards, right?
Yes.
If it's sliding when it gets there, watch very carefully. You can see that stripe turning. If it's sliding when it gets there, it'll stop.
Okay.
If it's rolling when it gets there, it'll keep rolling.
Rolling forward. Wait.
Yep.
Yes.
Even though I'm striking it low on the ball, watch what happens. The slide is going to happen here if I shoot it right, and then it'll start rolling, and it'll keep rolling after it hits that ball. And that's that. No.
I know. Well,
My brain wants me to do a stop shot.
So now you're doing a...
I'm drawing the ball,
Drawing it, yes.
but watch it. It should spin backwards when I start, and then forward, and then it rolls.
Okay.
So it spins backwards at the start, then it slides.
So it does have to do with the speed at which you hit the cue ball.
Well, that has to do with how long that ball is turning backwards before it starts its slide.
Right.
Now, theoretically, let's keep the stripe ball here. And I know you like technical details, so.
I do.
So theoretically, that slide happens when I hit the center of the cue ball. So if they're very close like that, I can hit the center of the cue ball and stop the ball.
Okay, it was
because
sliding.
from the moment you hit it, it's sliding when you hit the center, or just a tenth of a millimeter below center. But if I hit it even a little bit on top, it's not sliding when it gets there, and it's going to follow.
Yes.
And if I hit it so that it's a little bit low, it'll draw back like that. Okay?
Okay.
So those three things are absolutely key to moving from a 3 to a 4.
Solid fundamental.
Yeah. If you're just letting that ball roll, and most threes are just letting the ball roll every time. And so
just for an understanding point, if we were doing that same shot before, where we were at either end of the table, how would you have to hit the cue ball
In order to stop
to
it?
stop it from a long distance.
You have to
Or,
have
I mean,
an excellent stroke to do that.
Yeah, if it was like, you know,
So you're talking about this,
Or
or you're straight in,
or yeah, something, but with a much greater distance.
like this? Or,
Yes. So right there, you definitely want to stop
So to
it.
do this, that's why we're working on the stroke fundamentals.
Right.
Because without good stroke fundamentals, you cannot do it.
I know this is a bigger step.
Because you have to be,
You're going to hit it low.
you have to be able to strike that ball and have it go all the way to that ball while it's still spinning backwards.
Right.
Or while it's sliding, one or the other. But it's really dangerous to have it sliding when it gets to stop that ball. Because it could start rolling forward right before it hits.
So it's a combination of where you contact the cue ball, which was going to be somewhere low, and at the speed
And
at
the
which
speed.
you. Okay.
Those two things have to be combined.
Those two things. Okay. Because otherwise, you're going to end up drawing it back if you hit it.
But this isn't what we're really talking about. I don't want you to be thinking about this right now.
Right.
What you have to get to is where you're hitting that ball full on in this situation, or let's say a half ball hit. So I'm aiming the center of the cue ball at the left edge of that ball, like that. I can make that ball without following it in. I don't have to do a trick shot.
Right.
What you were doing is trying to thin cut that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really bad for two reasons. The thinner you cut that ball, let me just see what I can do, the farther it's going to go and the more likely you are to scratch. So you'd rather hit the ball a little fuller.
Okay.
Okay, so let's set you up. So this is the drill I'd like you to do at home. Put it about 6 or 8 inches away like that.
Okay.
And I want you to start out and follow the cue ball into the pocket. And you can use any ball you want for the cue ball. So you're hitting above center on the cue ball.
Okay.
And following that ball into the pocket.
So if I'm.
We're going to do this for a couple minutes, and then we'll go back to your fundamentals again.
So I've got to be, in order to follow the cue ball into the pocket, I have to be center of my cue ball and high on the
Center
cue ball.
high. Yep. And just stroke through it nicely. Okay, you followed it. That's
I followed it, but I did not. I must have hit the object ball off center.
You did. Okay, so you want to practice it, aiming the center of the cue ball to the center of this ball and shoot a little high on the cue ball. But when you're thinking about one new thing, like shooting high,
Yeah.
you're going to forget your other things.
I really want to go in.
Yep, there's something, we'll work on your alignment here again in a few minutes. And that's why I wanted to do that part first, but we got started with this, so let's go ahead. That way you'll know what drill to do this week. Much better. Much better.
That was better. Okay.
Okay, so we want to do that, and then you can use that for cue ball.
This one.
And now we want to stop the ball.
Oh, now I'm going to stop the ball.
Yeah, let's make it a little bit easier. And how do you stop the ball?
Okay, center
You
of the
want it to
cue
be
ball.
sliding when it gets here, so you have to hit a little bit below center on that ball. And stroke through the ball and have your tip land on the surface of the table. Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That was good.
And the third thing that you want to learn to do is now to draw that ball back, and that means you're hitting lower. You can hit about as firm as you just did, that's fine. You're hitting lower on that ball and straight at that other ball. Through a little bit, but you hit it off center too.
I hit the ball, so I wonder if I lifted
So
my...
let me come over here and look at your tip.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to bring up my stick.
Okay, I'm going to watch your whole stroke right now. Go ahead. Beautiful.
Better.
That's what you need to practice.
Better. I think that's why I put my finger. I did an open bridge before, and I have a feeling I'm lifting my tip up a little bit.
That's what I was watching for on the last one, but you didn't do it then. Let's do it one more time.
I'll try it with an open bridge again and see what. So, not us.
One more time. Go through your whole process. Stand back.
Okay, yep.
Get your line. Okay, you want to hit
I'm lifting that.
That speed is fine. You want to hit a little firmer. I mean, a little lower.
A little lower. Okay, lower.
And let me just show you something that a lot of people don't realize, and that is how, if your cue is well chalked with beautiful Tam, is it?
I think so.
You can hit this ball way up here.
Oh, yeah.
Without miscuing. I just miscued, but I'm kind of overdoing it a little bit. Let's see how high we can go. We can go way up there. And we can go way down here. See, I didn't even have to hit it very hard, and it grew almost all the way to the end of the thing. So you have to realize that as long as you're well chalked and as long as your stroke is straight, that you can hit a lot further to the edge of the ball than you think. Now, we're not doing English right now, but for this, you don't even have to hit it very hard to make it draw like that.
Yeah.
People think you have to hit it hard. It's not hitting it hard, it's having a good straight stroke and following through properly, doing your whole stroke routine, and having your tip go straight to the spot where you wanted it to. If you aim it at that low spot and then your stroke is crooked and you hit it a little bit lower, you're going to miscue.
Yeah.
Good. So that's what you want to practice when you go home.
I don't like it's not coming straight back. That's bothering me.
So let's go back to our fundamental stuff. That, you know, you understand now what our goal is. When you graduate to an APA 4, it's going to be because of those two things. Your ability to stop the ball and roll it forward, and your ability to cheat the pocket a little bit.
Yes.
And understand how that ball's going to go in the pocket. And shooting that ball dead center and having it come back to your tip. And I'm going to do something.
Okay.
Okay, stay in that position right now. And actually, okay,
I'm moving a little bit.
Huh? Yeah, you're moving around. Stand back up and go through it again.
Okay. So. Okay, there we go. You want me to go that way?
Huh?
You want me to go that way?
No. I want you to see that you're imbalanced.
I am?
Your feet are too narrow together.
Okay, so I need more of a tripod.
I need to be able to bump your shoulder and not have you have to take a step.
Okay.
In other words, remember we talked about it being like a fighter?
Yes.
We want a fighter's stance.
Yes. Okay.
So what's happened is this week, from the time we got done until now, you've narrowed your stance back up like this.
Yes.
So like that, true. I'm tipsy and I can't. Like this, I'm not tipsy and I have the strength of both my legs. Okay. One of the things, and I'm a absolute proponent of women in pool, and I don't see why there aren't far more women at the upper end of the pool world. But one of the advantages men have is the greater strength in their lower legs. Mm-hmm. And people don't realize how much they're using their lower legs in a proper pool stroke.
Yeah.
So
that's something that you have to work on.
Yes. Okay.
Is getting that, making sure your feet are widely enough placed. And when you do that, you also have to have that clearance. So that your left foot has to remain on the shot line, and your right foot has to come out far enough to give you stability.
Yes.
So that if I were to bump your shoulder again like I did before, you would be able to recover without stepping. Stay in that position. That's perfect. Very good.
Can I get up?
Yep.
Yeah, that was it.
You did work. You were thinking about clearance, weren't you? This week?
I was thinking about more than clearance. I was thinking about stability.
Okay, but you did get a little more narrow, so
yeah,
we want to make sure that we have a stance wide enough that as we do, because you're going to be coming down and you're going to be doing slight corrections, and even a slight correction is going to shift your weight, and you need to be centered. Your center of gravity needs to be between your legs. Even though you've done this weird thing of twisting your upper body a little bit, you still have to have your weight centered, and that means that left leg is going to be flexed, and you're real good about, I like having the back leg straight, because that you can play pull for more hours with a straight back leg than you can if you're flexing both of your legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I feel like it takes one moving part out of it. Like where it could be a little bit lower, a little bit higher, but it's straight.
I agree 100%.
It is always straight. That's where it's going to be.
So let's see that again.
So.
Are you right-handed?
I am.
In real life?
Yes.
Because you keep wanting to use your right hand to line yourself up.
I don't notice that at all, but I am right-handed in real life.
How did you get shooting with your left hand?
Well, some sports I do left. It must be a brain thing. So I do, like gymnastics, I do left.
Yeah.
And pool, I do left. But I would do tennis, I would do right, but I have a one-handed backhand. So both of those, I think it's a way of...
So you shift the racket to your other hand?
I will shift it all the time.
Instead of doing a backhand?
Yeah, I'll do I can do a two-handed backhand, but I will do a one-handed backhand. Yeah. Or I will switch the racket.
Which isn't really a backhand. It's just you're hitting the ball from a backhand position with your other hand.
Yeah, I'll do that. Or I'll just do a one-handed backhand with my right hand, but I guess that doesn't make any difference. I will switch the racket hand.
Interesting.
I know. But I play ping pong right, and...
I had no idea that you were right-handed except from observing you using your right hand to point with, and then handing it over to your left hand. And
I've tried to play pool right-handed. It doesn't work. I mean, I might be able to train myself, but it doesn't feel right. Nothing about it.
That's okay. Because your form is coming together fine with your left hand, and then I wouldn't change that. I was just curious.
Yes.
Very good. We did your eye dominance thing, and you came out what? Remind me.
I think I came out left eye.
Okay. That's probably why you feel more comfortable shooting with your left hand.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
So does that mean I should line things up with my left eye?
It's most likely that you're going to see the line best if it's a line with your left eye, if your left eye dominant.
Okay.
Okay, you were off all the way there, so that
I was off all the way?
Yeah, it came here like this, so it wasn't a center of the ball situation.
Well, which is interesting because that is what was happening over here too. Yeah. Remember, I was moving, I was going to the left.
Hitting it to the right, so I'm going to watch the path of your stick this time. Okay,
So here's what you're doing.
What? Is it an elbow
You
thing?
are getting into proper alignment, getting down on the ball, placing your bridge, you're in alignment, and then you start to work yourself out of alignment after you're already down on the ball.
Because it feels uncomfortable.
So you need to freeze your alignment. There's a difference between fine-tuning the aim and alignment. Fine-tuning the aim is a feeling. It's not a movement.
Yeah.
What you're doing is going back and forth with your eyes. You've already achieved the line from back there standing. You don't want to change that. So anything you do in the way. So let me just show you what you were doing.
Okay.
You came down on it. You were perfectly in line. And then slowly, I'm trying to figure out which way. It doesn't matter which way it went. Slowly, you shifted about that far. See that?
Wow. Yes.
That's 2 millimeters at the end of the stick. That's huge. So the tuning that you do when you come down on this, you've already aligned it properly. You're in alignment. Now it's a feeling. You're looking back and forth to that ball, and you shouldn't be adjusting the stick. You should be getting a feeling. Look back and forth. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that I'm now locked in, like a fighter jet. You see in Tom Cruise is flying in the jet, and he's behind the other guy, and then the thing goes ee, and he shoots. That's the feeling that you should have. Not that you're shifting or adjusting the position of the stick, but you're shifting or adjusting the perception that you have of how you need to hit that ball.
Okay.
Okay? So you want to avoid all movements of the arm and body after you're down and after you're aligned. Okay, I'm going to video you.
Did you see it again?
Yes.
You did?
Yes. Okay, same alignment issue. I want you to do the same thing, and I'm going to get your arm from behind. Okay. Okay, watch your arm. You see how that's rotating this way? The stick is doing this.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, why is it
Watch
doing
again.
that?
I don't know.
You know what? It just occurred to me why it might be doing it. I see it. I see it. The only thing it could be is my bridge.
That's about 3 or 4 millimeters. Let's watch it again one more time. Whoops. Okay. I'm not sure what it is, but let's look at it from the front.
I bet you it's my bridge.
Well, that's what the next thing to work on was going to be anyway. But then we face this little issue here.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Okay, watch how your stick. It's only about 3 millimeters, but man, that can be huge. Okay, watch as. See it going back and forth?
Yes.
And see, you're consistently coming to the left. Unless you're really thinking about it.
So, it's just, you'll understand it as a brain thing. So I played last night, and I've been practicing my, 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, pause. And that's because my daughter, my kids are the only ones that can break through my silence. I realized immediately that my brain went back to all the old ways. Even when I get up there, the nerves, the competition, everything. I told
you the 1, 2, 3 will turn into 1/5 of that, right?
And I think there were even times where I had to really pause because I was like, I'm not doing anything that I was taught. Like I'm doing everything the way that I used to do it. it went right back, just like you wanted to go to the other end of the table.
Yeah. That's why you cannot learn except by doing drills on your own.
Yeah.
You cannot learn while you're playing with another player. You can't learn, no matter how good that player is, from things they're telling you while you're playing with them. You can only learn by going back to the table, setting up a ball like we did earlier, and saying, okay, I'm going to practice over and over again getting to that ball and getting to this ball. Or I'm going to practice over and over again getting back to my tip. And I'm going to adjust as needed. You have to do that 1,000 times, 2,000 times.
That's right.
If you're going to improve in your league pool.
Yeah.
Because in league pool, you get all tense and...
Of course, and it's the competition, but my